So, herzlich willkommen zur ersten Ausgabe von Ideas Create Reality in 2022. Ideas Create Reality ist die Impulsreihe zum diesjährigen Motto des ADC Festivals, aber ich gehe davon aus, das wisst ihr alle, sonst wärt ihr wahrscheinlich nicht hier. Wir stellen euch hier interessante Persönlichkeiten vor, die mit ihren Ideen versuchen, bereits jetzt die Realität oder die Zukunft zu gestalten. Ich entschuldige mich ein bisschen für dieses Bild. Ich bin gerade, vielleicht ist too much information, aber ich erzähle es trotzdem mal. Ich bin gerade bei meiner Mutter. Das Internet ist hier nicht das Beste und deshalb habe ich mir auch jetzt eine Farbe generell ausgesucht, wo ich ein bisschen Ton in Ton mit allem bin. Aber ich hoffe, ihr seht mir das nicht nach. Also, heute geht es um ein Thema aus dem Videospielbereich. Daher bin ich persönlich sehr froh, dass ich eingeladen wurde, um das hier heute zu präsentieren. Mein Name ist Uke Bosse. Ich spiele sehr gerne Videospiele. Und ich lehre auch darüber in meiner Funktion als Professor für Videospieldesign. Und daher freue ich mich jetzt ganz, ganz besonders, dass ich zwei junge Frauen, Schwestern aus Jordanien hier habe, die Videospiele, also wie wir wissen, das Leitmedium des 21. Jahrhunderts, benutzen, um die Welt zu verbessern. Dazu haben die beiden bereits vor 5 Jahren eine Firma gegründet, Sakura Games, und entwerfen damit Serious Games und Edutainment, unter anderem um das Bildungssystem an Schulen zu verbessern, womit sie selber auch noch ein bisschen zu tun haben, denn die beiden sind noch nicht einmal 20 Jahre alt. Ich freue mich wirklich, wirklich sehr. And I should have said this all in English because that would have been a lot more polite, because our two speakers here today are not speaking German, as most of the people do not. Sorry about that, I apologize. I'm really, really happy to have these two fascinating personalities here, digitally with us. Here are the two sisters, Sham and Jana AlBdour, and they will tell us about their work. Take it away. Hi, welcome.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you
so much
for the introduction. The one in German and in English. I trust you that it's all good.
Sorry about that. Yes, I just got taken away. I just said that I'm very fascinated by the work you do. That 5 years ago you already founded your company, and you're making games. You're making serious games, and you will tell us a bit about them right now.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Well, let me share my screen to start with the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me when you can see it.
I think it's all good.
We can start. First of all, thank you so much for having us. We're really honored to talk with you. I apologize for my voice, but we had a snowstorm and I couldn't not go out and play with the snow, so I'm a bit sick. We're really happy to share our story and to talk about Sakura Games, where we develop edutainment games to make education more enjoyable and interactive, and to talk about how we aim to support the school's curriculum. My name is Sham, and I'm 19.
And my name is Jana. I'm 16 years old. This picture is of us when we were kids. I'm the one in yellow. And we were just like any other kids our age. We played around in a nearby park, jumping around, doing nothing much. We wasted all our days in that park, going there after school, then waiting for the holiday so we can go all day, and waiting for school again to go after school.
Well, we were good at school. We were excellent. And beside that, we had like extracurricular activities. We used to do boxing, kung fu, drawing, learning languages, and poetry reading. But none of this was what we're really passionate about. About 8 years passed just like that, at the same park, doing the same boring routine. And our father always encouraged us to try something new. He always said a quote by an Arab poet that says, whoever fears climbing the mountains shall live forever in the ditches. And we tried to change something about it.
So in 2015, we started searching for something new to try, and we landed on journalism. We started working in journalism, covering topics related to culture and children. And we worked with the Qatari news agency, Sawalif, and other agencies. We'd go to an event about children, then attend it, and interview the organizers, then write about it in online magazines.
And while working in journalism, we also entered the field of voiceover and dubbing in 2016. So we worked to localize and to create Arabic content for popular TV channels like DW Documentary, Jim TV, and we worked with organizations like the UNICEF. The first show we worked on was called Odd Squad, and it tells the story of two agents who are working in an agency that seeks to save the world by using math when odd things happen. It was an extraordinary experience.
Also, while working in journalism, we interviewed the founder of an academy that teaches kids programming. That was in 2016. And I started learning there. I learned small basic Java, JavaScript, HTML, and a bit of CSS. And in 2018, Sham took the professional certification from Autodesk in Maya and became one of the few females professionally certified around the world.
And in 2017, the change really happened after a continued encouragement from our father. And he always focused on working in a field where we don't have too much competition and we can be leaders in. So we found out that journalism is something many people can do, but not games development. And in our case, our father was our mentor. He guided us. He always told us what to do, and still, he always tells us what we can do and always give us advice. Having a mentor is really, really important. And you should also have a determination because without that, you won't achieve something. And without a mentor, the journey will be so long and you may get lost.
So we entered the gaming industry and started learning basics of game development and design. We made many projects to help us learn, and well, our first projects were not that great. They were actually horrible. Like, for example, our first game was made in a game jam in 3 days, but all the assets were stolen from Disney movies. And I did not steal them, Sham did. So if anyone wants to press charges, it's none of my business. And then our second game, we worked on it for months, but we were still figuring out how to use the software. So it was very simple. We made it about robots who turned evil because of some crazy scientist, and you have to capture them in cages and send them to space. It was kind of inspired by Pokemon, where you capture them. And the idea also came from Sham's obsession with robots and the idea that they will conquer the world someday.
Well, yeah, enough talking about our amazing games and let's go back to the main story. The idea of combining what we learned in media creation and games development sparked back then. We know how to create content, we know how to make articles, we know how to make something edutainment because we worked in journalism and now we know how to make games. So let's do edutainment games. And this is why we started Sakura Games. The main reason is that we are trying to improve the educational system because we know how children suffer in school. We were in school, I mean, Jenna still is in school. We knew the story. We knew how it's kids are suffering from the systematic modular curriculums. Schools are boring, curriculums are not interactive. For example, in the 1900s, this is how schools were. And until 2019, nothing really changed. Okay, now we do have more colorful books, and like sometimes teachers play some puzzles. There is a bit of technology used in class, but still, it's not enough and not everywhere. Now, in 2020, and in fact, what makes us really proud that we started in early 2017, and we now see the change school has, um, although most of it is due to COVID and how it accelerated the procedure, but besides that, we wear masks in schools. Now there's more awareness about the importance of having games in classes and having more interactivity, having a gamification systems, which makes us really, really proud.
So now let's meet Crimson. It's our first edutainment game. We made it in 2017 for Arabic speaking children. So there is Crimson the bunny and Rose the kitten, and it teaches kids basic letters, colors, shapes, and numbers in Arabic and English. This is Crimson Scene. You learn Arabic here, and you learn by listening, then dragging the right answer to the box.
In 2018, the judges of the Big Indie Pitch, which is an international competition for games development, they really liked Crimson, and it won the second place in this competition. And a year later, it was nominated for as a young gun in the Rockies Awards. And when we made Crimson, we started feeling that we do have a message, we're making an impact. And it was one of the first edutainment games we made.
We also made other projects. The fact that we were making impact made us really inspired to make more projects. This was not really edutainment, but it was made in a game jam in just 3 days in the Zanga game jam about a magical, colorful turtle saving her kid from evil bad cubes. We ended up winning the first place in the jam in graphics in Mina, and it was also nominated for the International Mobile Gaming Awards 2019.
We do have hyper casual games too. And we've been part of Womenpreneur documentary, which is one of the main highlights of our journey. It tells the stories of women and the success stories of these women. And we were from the few women from Jordan. It was really wonderful. We've been interviewed by media, like very popular channels in our region, like Al Arabi, Al Mamlaka.
And also, since we started our journey in game development, we have been really interested in spreading what we've learned to youth, especially girls. So we gave motivational speeches with Bucket Gamer Connects, Microsoft, the Global Summit, Girls Make Games, and so on. We also focused on one of the Sustainable Development Goals, which is quality education. And these are some pictures of the speeches. Also, at the same around the same time, we gave a couple of workshops in TechWorks and Gaming Lab about game design and development.
2020 was vibrant. We had developed Car Girl Garage with an international publisher. It's an edutainment game that teaches women in a friendly and relaxed way about basic car DIY applicable for real life situations. It was proudly nominated for Women in Games Awards and for the category as Best Game Developed by a Woman or a Female Team.
And we're proud that we were the only team from the MENA region. It was really great. Also, this is Bio Adventure. It's a series of games, tools, and simulation apps covering biology concepts. It's an idea of successfully integrating game principles into scientific information to make learning more fun while also adding a challenge and a motive for students to learn more effectively and to improve their overall experience, especially in learning biology, since Sham really suffered in in her senior year because of this. This game is about cell mechanisms and biology interactions, which also were in her curriculum for the year. The application is made up of two parts: simulations, where you learn about how the process of something inside the body works. Like this is how the natural killer cell works. And there are also games where you play as a cell. Like you are the natural killer cell killing infected cells.
Mhm. And by using this application, many of the biology concepts will become easier and more understandable. It also will help teachers in class to enhance their classes where they can demonstrate things easier and in a more friendly way. We've been part of many digital events which took place in 2020, and the main ones were Bucket Gamer Connects and Girls Make Games.
And 2021 was no less vibrant. We became ambassadors for Womenpreneur and Women in Games to represent women in the gaming industry and support them.
And there was no better way to end last year with winning um, the Mobile Games Awards, the Rising Star Award, and it was a huge recognition.
Also, the recognition we got from media last year was amazing and really encouraging. We got media coverage from international firms in different languages, even
For
German.
Yes, for example, the ABC News, Reuters News. In German, there is many agencies beside the Strive magazine, and of course, in Arabic news like Al Jazeera, Al Arabi, and many, many others. Ever since I graduated high school in 2020, I received a number of scholarships, and the main highlights were one, Al Hussein Technical University. I studied last year 1 year of computer science. The second one is the American University of Cairo, one of the best universities in the MENA region. And now I'm in Istanbul University studying Turkish language. And I'm beyond excited to announce that I'll be joining Istanbul Technical University next year to study computer engineering, one of the oldest and best technical universities all around the world.
I had the pleasure of working briefly with a hyper casual company in 2021 as a Unity developer, and these are some of the games I made while working there. Thank you so much for listening to us. This was really fun and amazing, and we're looking forward to hearing your questions.
Yes, thank you so much. That's very inspiring. All the stuff that you. That's so much that you did. I'm quite amazed.
Thank you.
Let's just like to tell our audience, so you can ask questions. Stellt gerne Fragen und ich werde sie dann weiterstellen. I will ask the questions. I do have a couple of questions on my own, if I may. So you said you did Kung Fu, you did journalism, quite similar. The two, of course, is what did fascinate you about games? I mean, did you play lots of video games before, or why would you say, oh, let's do games? That's the best thing.
That's the weird thing. See, we're not gamers. That's the weird thing. We grew up like watching Disney movies and reading books. We were nerds. And we were not gamers at all. But we met some people who were working in the gaming industry, and we took a course in game modeling, in 3D modeling for games, and we became fascinated by how amazing it looks. Like you start I was already programming. So, but when we started learning about games, you would program something and see some visual feedback. So it was really satisfying and fun for us.
Yeah, it's
That's
more fun than doing
yeah,
like a back end or something. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
exactly. That's the point.
Well, until now, we do enjoy two things: games development and dubbing. So we found a couple of other interests, but I mean, we still do like kung fu and boxing, but like the field we wanna continue and we wanna pursue is games development.
I find that very fascinating because most people I know that go into games development, they are sort of influenced by games that they know, and they often programs games in the genres that they like, role-playing games or jump and runs. And I've seen like a wide variety of genres that you have there. I mean, you have an edutainment game, you had a jump and run, you did the hyper casual games. I'm quite interested. How do you come up with your game designs? Or let me ask you differently. So, Shana, you program, right? And Sham, you steal assets or you program, you make
No,
the assets, right?
the first game only, the first
Okay.
game. Then we
Yeah,
started
yeah.
making art
Before
for our own.
she's a great artist. Just the first game we had,
Okay.
we didn't have any experience.
Yeah. But that's how you separate the work. And how do you come
Yes.
up? So one does the art, one does the programming, but how do you come up with the game design, with the ideas for how the whole thing flows?
Well, it depends. Every game has its own different story. Hyper casual games are different because it's like you need to think of things that give you satisfaction and like mix them with other mechanics, look at the trends and try mixing mechanics. But entertainment games are really hard to think of. You need, because we do adapt, like we do take content from curriculum, it's much easier than developing any other game. But every game has its story, like the qawqa'a with color turtle, colorful. It's different. It was like the theme was simple and we wanted a simple mechanic. So like you tap, you jump, and you move forward. This was the mechanic. And the story, it's so weird, but we do come up with the name and everything about the art before before the mechanic and the
Yeah,
way the
I
game
think
will look like.
I
But
think Sham saw like a turtle shell and she liked it, and then we decided based on that to make to make it about a turtle that and that's saving a very colorful turtle that's saving her kid from the evil bad cubes who are trying to steal its colors.
Hmm.
like we
And
have a game called, sorry,
no, please go ahead.
we have a game called Never Served. It talks about someone where you work in a burger restaurant and someone just missed uh, your order, so you have to unmake it and then make it again. We were hungry and we were about to eat, so everything we were thinking about is food, and that's why we made this game. Every game has its own different story.
Inspired by McDonald's.
I'm always fascinated by this because I mean game design is basically you want to create an emotion or a sensation in the player, and you have to find a way of how you will do this, how you will achieve this. And I'm still amazed that you didn't play any games before because that's just crazy. So you had to basically come up with everything from scratch. You have looked at other games in the meantime, though, right?
Yes, sure,
Yes,
sure.
Yeah.
but
Okay.
you could say that we're actually inspired by movies, like Disney
Yes.
movies. They were so imaginative and had crazy ideas. So I guess when we started making games, they all had these crazy ideas that were also like related to. Actually, most of our games were made in game jams, so based on a theme, but it never fit the theme. We never
Mhm.
once came up with an idea that actually went along with the theme. Like all the ratings, like at the end of a game jam, you would be rated based on design, graphics, and related how much it's related to a theme. We always lost that one. We could win
Mhm.
all others, but lose that one.
Mhm.
But in
And
the last
Please.
Sorry.
No,
In the
please go
last
ahead.
in the last 2 years, we started focusing more in game design and taking courses in that field. And actually, recently, like 2 3 years ago, we started understanding how game design and how a game feels is much much better than focusing on the mechanic, the programming, or the 3D art. And we wish we knew that when we started, but because our main focus was edutainment games, and there's that misconception about edutainment games doesn't need to be, they don't need to be fun, which is
Yeah,
super wrong. But
yeah,
now we're
yeah.
focusing on making them feel good, feel engaging, which
Mhm.
is what's required for any game to be called a game.
Yeah.
Yes, very, very true. Do you work in Unity, or
Yep.
which is the engine that you use? I use
Unity,
Unity.
Unity.
Um,
Actually, yeah, please go on.
no, please do say.
Yeah, actually, I think our edutainment games were the hardest to make because even though it's based on a curriculum, you still have to make it fun, and
Yeah,
curriculums are not fun. That's
yeah, yeah,
that's a fact. So to to gamify the curriculum is a bit hard.
yeah. It's always the whole problem with serious games is that you want to make something that's very boring into a fun thing. That's the hardest challenge here. Is
Exactly.
it because this show here today, our motto is ideas create reality. So apparently you had lots of ideas and now they are in reality. So I guess that fits very well. Has your edutainment game, has it been used? Have you seen it in action? Have children or pupils used it and had fun with it and success?
Mhm. Yeah, we made some specific games for certain schools, and we got really great feedback from them that the students really loved it. And we usually also like publish them on Google Play, and they're like widely available for everyone to download for free. So we just once we had a meeting with someone, and their secretary told us that her kid plays our game, and that she brags to her friends about how good her kid is with colors and letters and shapes because they played our game. So she was telling everyone about it. And also like Car Girl Garage, we got some great feedback. A woman once sent us that after she had a serious accident and hit her head, so she like lost her memory, and it really helped her to remember the basics of maintenance for fixing her car. This is about Car Girl Garage, by the way. I don't think that's
Mhm.
specified.
Do you know how to fix cars now yourself that you programmed the game, or did you know
Yes,
before?
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
actually, we learned it.
we once changed a tire.
Perfect.
Yeah,
No, no, we didn't. We just fixed it.
pressure. We fixed the tire pressure was down, and we
Mhm.
pumped it.
And
So
this
we
is
did
something
learn
we
it.
learned from the game.
Yeah, we learned
I
it
have a
while
que-
making.
You learned it while okay, so you changed your reality while doing that as well. It's because I mean, in order to program the game, I guess you had to had to know
Understand.
yeah, exactly what you would tell your players. I have a question from a viewer. I will read it to you. COVID has changed the school system. Do you think that gamification, which is a different thing than serious games, I just like to point that out, but I allow it. Arrogant, sorry. You think that gamification provides a chance in times of homeschooling to bring back passion among young pupils?
Definitely. Yeah.
That's really interesting. Sorry. Because when we started in 2017, when we went to schools and told them about our games, they were like, "What if kids forget how to hold pencils if they're using tablets?" And parents didn't accept the fact that their kid can learn something from a game. But then when COVID came and we were forced to stay in home and to learn digitally, we really people started accepting the fact that games can be a choice, games can be a solution for that. And I do believe in that. Homeschooling is an option that's really suitable, and it solves many situations and circumstances. And when games and gamification can be combined to that, it's going to be really beneficial for schools and for parents and for the kid itself.
Yeah,
So
gamification is really important in homeschooling because, as you might have heard, the attention span of humans is getting less and less every year. So, especially kids. So, you have to keep them focused, and you can't stay focused on something that's boring. Speaking from experience,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I never focus on school.
Can I just? I'm still fascinated by your creative processes because you're also, I mean, you're sisters, so you hang out with each other all the time. How do you, I mean, do you get on your nerves sometimes, or do you have fights? How does that work? I mean, and now you're apart from each other, and you're far away, right? You're in Istanbul, you're still at home.
Yeah.
So now you work digitally together. Does that work the same way, or is there a difference in dynamics?
we fight in everything, but we do really agree when it's about games. I don't remember that we ever
About the
made
game,
a fight
yeah.
in games, like, but we fight on other things because we're sisters. But in games, like, we do agree most of the time. We do manage.
Yeah, but I think we get along more than normal siblings because of our business together.
And you also said that lots of your games started during game jams. Can you tell us about that? Do you have, like, because I don't know that much about the to have to be sorry to say that in the gaming industry in Jordan, do you have like a game developer scene that you could sort of tap into? Because I mean, game jams are a really fun thing to do, and so is there like a scene like that where you can connect with other people and help each other out and stuff?
Actually, the Global Game Jam started today, and it's an
Oh yeah,
it
right.
was supposed to be in person or hybrid, but there's a snowstorm, so I don't think it's gonna be that way. And all streets are closed right now, so it won't work. But yeah, we do have a gaming scene. It's not that big, and there are not many females, like just a couple of females in the gaming scene here. But it is really fun to connect with other people in the game development industry here in Jordan.
What are your plans for the next couple of years? So is there any games that you really want to make, or that you want to publish, or that you want to bring out? Or are you going to branch off into other things like metaverse stuff? I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds really cool. But my plans are to get rid of school first because it gets on my nerves, and it takes up a lot of my time. So that's pretty bad. But thankfully, with online learning, it's a bit better. So I don't really have to watch all the classes. I can study on my own. As for games, we do have a couple of games planned for the next years.
Yes, and we always aim to, like, make as many people get benefit from our games, use them, feel happy after playing them, and of course learn something new from the entertainment content that's in them, of course.
Is there something in games at the moment that you are excited about, or that you think, okay, this could be like, I mean, that you would really like to pursue further, or that I don't know, find very interesting?
I You mean
Yeah.
like a game genre, or?
Like, yeah, like a genre, or like a trend, or something that's happening at the moment.
Well, of course, the NFTs now, and how
Yeah.
they can connect, like, to the games, and like it's it's really what people are asking for. It's really what people in this era are really concerned about, owning things. So I think it's really fun, and merging it with the games industry is something makes me interested. And maybe our next game will do have some features that are related to the topic.
Ah, okay, that's interesting. Okay, Let me just ask our viewers if there are any more questions, because I'm sure actually, well, you know, if you ever come to Berlin at any chance, I'd like to invite you to my classroom, because I mean that I would find that very interesting to have you chat with
love
my
to.
students.
We'd
That would
love
be
to.
awesome.
We'd
That
be
would be
honored.
amazing. Yeah, that would be really cool. If anyone else has some questions, I will ask them for you. Otherwise, I'll probably just say a very big thank you. And I think that what you're doing is very inspiring and very cool. And I look forward to hearing more from you. And I'm not sure if I can announce this, but I just heard that in May you are going to be in Germany. You're going to be at the ADC festival. Maybe I'll stop by and have a chat with you then. That would be awesome.
It will.
Looking to it.
Hamburg is very nice in May anyways, that I can recommend that. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for telling your stuff. Thank you very much for making all these cool games. Hopefully see you in May. And to all our viewers, I will switch back to German now and announce what's happening next. Alle unsere Zuschauer, denen das jetzt hier gerade gefallen hat, die nächste Folge der Ideas Create Reality Serie wird am 24.03. stattfinden, ebenfalls so ab 3 Uhr. Und da geht es dann um Kreativität im digitalen Zeitalter. Benedikt Gradl wird mit Julia Peglow über ihr Buch Wir Internetkinder sprechen. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for participating. And goodbye.
Thank you.